Let's check in with Ray in Maryland. Hey, Ray, thanks for waiting.
Eddie. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Yep.
I've broken the code. I know where your 40th anniversary celebration is going to be.
Where's that? The Pinball Museum?
No. Now that you're kind of the mayor of Vegas, your status and everything, one can only surmise the Sphere, no?
Well, look,
No.
if Lars called me tomorrow and said, "Hey, Eddie, Metallica, it's 40 years for Kill 'Em All, it's 40 years for you. We want to play a show." Yeah, we'll go book the Sphere. But as much as the Trunk Nation is strong and plentiful and in great numbers, I don't think we're filling the Sphere.
Man, you're selling yourself short, but I'll move on. Real quick throwdown idea, and I'll mention my band real quick and get off. You had talked about not too long ago if there were a big five, the West Coast people would put Testament on it, the East Coast Overkill. A good throwdown, I think, would just be band versus band, East Coast versus West Coast, Overkill against Testament. Not album against album, band against band, who's your favorite? And then I think that would be good, and I think there's enough in your audience. But
not a bad idea.
Yep. My band that I thought should have been bigger, and they had very minimal success. The first two albums I thought were great, In the Beginning and License to Kill, and the band is Malice. And they were even featured in a Hollywood movie. And just nothing really ever came about it. I love James Neal's vocals and good riffs, good songs.
The song I remember was Sinister Double.
Sinister Double was great. It was off License to Kill, the follow-up, yep.
And I think Max Norman did those records, didn't he?
I know he did one of them. I can't remember if he did both.
Yeah, they come up a lot when we do bands that should have been huge, and I remember when they did come up, somebody burned the two albums and sent them to me on CD or something because I didn't have them. So, yeah, they definitely have their fans, but they absolutely didn't make it. If I recall, they were on Atlantic too, I think.
They were. That is correct.
Yeah. All right, Ray. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, we're gonna. Sorry, I clipped you there, Ray. We're gonna get Malice, and we're gonna book the Sphere. That's what the party's gonna be. Oh God, that would be too much. By the way, I have a story about the Sphere. I'm not going to get into it on today's show. Maybe I'll do it on Thursday before the mailbag or whatever. But interesting story about the Sphere and the audio system in that thing. Yeah, I've been talking a lot about that building. For those that don't know what it is, it's this groundbreaking new venue being built in Vegas that's almost ready to open, and it is a giant sphere that projects video on the inside and the outside, and then, of course, on the inside, you can sit there and you watch whatever band's playing, and you get your mind blown with the images and the sound. And I read an article last night. Apparently, they let some journalists in there. I don't know how I get on the list to be one of these journalists, but they let some journalists in there the other day to go inside, and they demonstrated the sound system, and it just blew people's heads out. Like, not in terms of loudness, but just in terms of the way it circles the music. Like, people were saying it's like the most mind-blowing thing because it's this incredibly groundbreaking new sound technology that comes at you from every angle, like surround sound times 1,000. Like, you can't even tell where the speakers are, and all the speakers are hidden and placed throughout the Sphere. So you just sit there and you're just immersed in music, and you can't tell what direction it's coming from no matter where you stand. It's like this brand new system that is being introduced there that's going to become like a whole nother thing. But it was funny reading the article, and I'll get more into it tomorrow or Thursday. It was funny reading the article because it said one of the journalists or the engineer who was demonstrating the sound system said, yes, any band that plays in here, every person, no matter where you're sitting, is going to hear every nuance in the music, including if you make the slightest mistake, you'll hear it. And that, my mind immediately reverted to, holy shit, if that's the case, every band that goes in there is going to end up running their whole show on tracks. Because if the sound system is so unforgiving that you will hear, like it's that detailed, however it works, that if somebody hits a bum note or sings a bad line, or somebody's off mic on backing vocals, that if it's that blatant, I mean, it's going to throw a huge bucket of gasoline on the faking it fire that's happening as it is. I truly hope that's not the case, but that's how I interpreted it. Because one of the writers was like, yeah, every band that plays here, every nuance, every great moment, every mistake is going to be heard. And I'm like, oh, he's got all these guys. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's fine if there's a mistake, but that's all you need to hear is like, oh, I got to go play the Sphere in that sound system. Oh, shit, just put the whole thing on the computer. We'll just lip sync it. We'll just pretend we're playing. I mean, God forbid, I hope Bono and The Edge aren't doing that. Because they're opening the thing. All right, let's take a break. We will come back. We got almost an hour left. Always fun when we do this. Bands that should have been huge. Love where this takes us. Love talking about these groups. Love hearing what you're coming up with. This is Malice, I think, right, AJ? Is this Sinister Double?
You're correct.
Yeah, I remember this. All right, here it is. Going into break. We'll come back with more after this on Trunk Nation.
Trunk Nation with Eddie Trunk. Bands call him for advice on their set list. Sirius XM's Faction Talk.